A billionaire lies still in his mansion, pretending to sleep. He only wants to test his maid's daughter. But what happens next leaves him frozen in terror, whispers in the dark, footsteps that should not be there, and a secret that shatters everything he thought he knew. Who was really in the room that night? And why did her words make his blood run cold? Stay with this story until the very end, because the truth waiting in the shadows will haunt you. Do not skip. Do not blink. Watch until the last second. The mansion was silent, the kind of silence that makes even the ticking clock sound like thunder. A billionaire, known for his cold eyes and sharper instincts, lay on the grand velvet couch. His breathing slowed, his eyelids lowered. He pretended to sleep, but his mind was wide awake. Tonight, he wanted to test something, not the loyalty of his staff, not the locks on his safe, but the behavior of his maid's daughter, a girl who had recently moved into the mansion, a girl with eyes too calm, too unreadable, as the shadows of the chandelier flickered across the marble floor. She entered, barefoot, silent. Her small frame moved with an elegance that did not belong to a maid's. Child. She paused near him. He could feel her gaze. It pressed against him like ice on bare skin. The air thickened. Her steps drew closer, each one slow, calculated. She leaned down. He felt her breath near his ear, and then she whispered words so soft, so chilling, that his body stiffened beneath the blanket. Words she should not have known. Words no stranger should ever say. His heart pounded. His fingers itched to move, but he forced himself to stay still. She straightened her posture. Her voice rose just above a whisper, almost as if speaking to someone else in the room, but no one was there, or so he thought. Suddenly, a floorboard creaked behind the couch. The sound was sharp, heavy. Not hers. His blood ran cold. There was someone else in the room, and they had been waiting. The creak echoed through the vast hall. The billionaire's pulse throbbed in his temples. He fought the instinct to open his eyes. He needed to see what they would do when they thought he was unaware. The maid's daughter did not flinch. Her expression, calm yet unreadable, did not change. Instead, she tilted her head ever so slightly, as if acknowledging the unseen presence. The air grew colder. He felt it brush against his skin, sharp like a winter draft slipping through an open window. Then, a second set of footsteps. Heavier, deliberate, moving closer. His chest tightened. The girl finally spoke again, but not to him. Her words carried a strange weight, almost rehearsed. The time has come. The footsteps halted. Silence. The billionaire's ears strained to capture every sound, every movement. Then he heard it. The metallic scrape of something being dragged along the floor. Long, slow, menacing. His breath nearly gave him away. He pressed his lips shut, forcing his lungs to hold. The girl crouched beside him again, her voice soft, almost sweet. Do not open your eyes. If you value your life. His body stiffened. Every instinct screamed at him to rise, to fight, to demand answers. But something in her tone stopped him. Because it was not a warning, it was a command, and she was not alone in giving it. From the darkness beyond the couch came a whisper, a man's voice, deep, unfamiliar. Is he ready? The girl's lips curved into a faint, unsettling smile. Yes, she replied, and that single word froze his blood more than anything else. The billionaire's mind raced. Ready for what? The thought clawed at him, but he dared not move. The stranger's footsteps circled slowly, each one echoing against the marble like a hammer striking stone. The girl remained by his side, her hand hovering just above his chest, as if to ensure he stayed still. Her eyes glimmered strangely in the dim light. Then the man spoke again. His time of choosing has arrived. The billionaire's heart lurched. Choosing what? The girl nodded, almost ritualistically. Her voice turned cold, stripped of innocence. He believes he controls everything in this house. Tonight, he learns the truth. The billionaire's skin prickled with sweat. He built this mansion. He owned every brick, every secret chamber, or so he thought. The metallic scrape grew louder, closer. He could almost feel the vibration through the floor. And then, suddenly, the sound stopped. A silence thicker than before spread through the room. The stranger's voice came again, low and firm. Open your eyes, or lose them forever. The billionaire's body shook with conflict. If he obeyed, he exposed himself. If he resisted, he invited something far worse. The girl leaned closer, her lips almost touching his ear. Do not listen to him. Not yet, wait. His chest burned with the effort of holding his breath. The seconds stretched like hours. And then, a cold hand brushed against his ankle, not hers. The touch was rough, calloused, unmistakably real. He bit the inside of his cheek to stop from gasping. The stranger had reached him, and the next words he heard were the last he ever expected. Your father sends his regards. The words sliced through him like a blade. His father, a man long buried beneath marble and stone, a man whose death certificate he himself had signed. His heart thundered so violently, he feared they would hear it. The billionaire forced himself to remain limp. Though every nerve screamed to react, the girl's eyes flickered toward the shadowed figure. Her voice was strangely calm. He knows now. The stranger chuckled, low and cruel. No, he only suspects. Soon he will remember. The billionaire's blood ran cold. Remember? What was there to remember? His temples pulsed. Fragments of half-forgotten nights clawed their way back. Arguments, a locked study, a secret will, and then fire. The girl's hand pressed against his chest, grounding him, trapping him. You built your empire on ashes, she whispered. But ashes never stay buried. The stranger moved closer, and the faint glint of metal shimmered in the dark. A blade, long, unforgiving. It hovered just above his throat. Open your eyes, the man hissed, or I open them for you. Every muscle tightened. The billionaire could not hide any longer. Slowly, painfully, he let his eyelids rise. The chandelier light cut into his vision, and at last, he saw them. The maid's daughter, standing with an eerie calm, and beside her, a man whose face he knew too. Well, scarred, twisted, by time, but unmistakable. His father, alive and smiling. The billionaire's breath caught in his throat. His father's smile widened, revealing teeth too sharp in the dim light. You look surprised, son, the old man said, voice dripping with venom. I taught you to never believe in what you see, and you believed I was gone. The billionaire's chest tightened. The memories came rushing back. The funeral, the will, the empire passed into his hands. None of it had been real. You died. His voice trembled, though his lips barely moved. His father chuckled, a sound more chilling than any silence. I died only on paper. You buried an empty casket. I watched you weep over nothing. The maid's daughter stepped forward. Her eyes locked on the billionaire with unsettling intensity. She knew, the father continued. She has been my eyes and ears in your house. While you slept in your wealth, she walked in your shadows. The billionaire's gaze darted to the girl. Her calm, unreadable stare sent a shiver through him. Why? He demanded, voice breaking past his fear. His father leaned closer, so close the billionaire could smell the stale smoke clinging to his coat. Because you stole from me. Because you took what was mine. The blade's edge pressed lightly against his skin, cold and sharp. And tonight, you will give it back, or you will give me your blood. The chandelier flickered above them, casting warped shadows across the walls. The girl bent down once more, whispering in his ear, her tone both soothing and terrifying. You have one choice left. Say yes, and live. The billionaire's pulse hammered in his ears. Yes to what? The truth clawed at him, but the answer stayed hidden, just out of reach. And then, from the far corner of the room, a second voice spoke, low, familiar. Do not trust them. The billionaire's eyes widened, because this voice belonged to someone who was supposed to be gone too. The sound of that voice froze him more than the knife at his throat. It was impossible. Utterly impossible. His eyes darted to the darkened corner of the hall. A shadow shifted, then separated from the wall. Step by step, a figure emerged. The light of the chandelier caught a familiar face, one he had seen lowered into the ground years ago. His mother, alive. Her presence drained the blood from his face. Every truth he thought he knew collapsed in an instant. She moved slowly, her eyes burning with a mix of sorrow and fury. Do not listen to him, she said. Her gaze locked on the father. He betrayed us all. He betrayed you most of all. The father snarled, his grip on the blade tightening. Lies. Always lies. You chose weakness. I chose power. The billionaire's mind swirled in chaos, his father alive, his mother alive, both standing here, yet divided by something far darker than death. The maid's daughter stood between them, calm as ever, her eyes glinting with a secret only she knew. You see now, she said softly. You were never the master of this house. You were the pawn, the father's voice thundered. Choose, boy. Stand with me and inherit everything, or side with her, and be buried tonight in the ground you built. The mother raised her hand, her voice cutting through the tension. Do not choose him. He will destroy you as he destroyed me. The billionaire's chest heaved. The walls seemed to close in, both of them alive, both demanding loyalty. And the girl's smile widened, as if she had been waiting for this very moment, and then she whispered words that sent a chill deeper than any knife could. You do not understand. Both of them are lying to you. The billionaire's head spun, his parents, both alive, both demanding his loyalty. And now the girl, smiling, calm, terrifyingly certain, declared them liars. The air in the grand hall thickened until every breath felt like swallowing smoke. He turned to her, his voice hoarse. Then tell me the truth. Her eyes locked with his, dark and steady. The truth, she whispered, is that none of this is about money. Or inheritance. Or blood. She stepped back, her gaze sweeping across the two figures who had haunted his life. They both play their games. But you are the prize. His heart pounded in his chest. The prize for what? He demanded. The girl's faint smile never wavered. For survival. The chandelier above flickered violently, plunging the room into momentary darkness. When the light steadied again, the space where his parents stood was empty. No footsteps, no sound, nothing. Only the girl remained, standing in the center of the marble floor, her shadow stretching unnaturally long. The billionaire's breath came fast, ragged. What? What are you? She tilted her head, and with a voice that was both childlike and ancient, she answered, The one who decides who wakes, and who never does. The silence that followed was unbearable. The billionaire looked down at his own hands and froze. They were not moving. They were not his. The world around him wavered like smoke, and in that instant, he finally understood. He had never opened his eyes at all. He was still lying there, trapped in the test he thought he had begun, and the girl was the one who would end it.